Top 8 places to smoke in your neighborhood, the solar system. We're going to start with Mercury. We're going to heat things up and cool things down at the same time. Because Mercury is a planet of contradictions. Mercury's beautiful if you look at it that way. Look at them colors. It's got blue. It's got other blue, purple. Gravity's different. A little bit less gravity on Mercury. Mercury likes to spin around. It just keeps turning. You know, he just keeps doing that and does that all the time. It does it pretty fast too and often. Now, cool thing about Mercury's craters, there's ice in the craters. You could go don't get in a fresh one though. It'll probably burn a lot. But if you find a crater, the way the shadows go, you just kind of move with the shadows and be protected from the sun. It's smoke. Smoke as much as you want. It's Mercury. There's no laws on Mercury. There's no air either. So bring your own air. Uranus. It's your favorite. Uranus is a big, cold, blue planet. It just wants love and attention. So what you got to do to understand Uranus is you got to get right in there. But first you got to get over there at 19.2 astronomical units. That's 19.2 times the distance from the Earth from the sun. That's like going home 19 times. Damn, that's a lot of gas. Now, Uranus is on its side. It's sideways. So if you're going to go to Uranus, you got to get it from the side. Now, you can see how all the planets like to line up to kind of sort of maybe just sort of run a train on Uranus, you know, because everybody wants to get up in there. You know, it's a nice place to be. It's got a nice core. There's diamonds in it, I've heard. A lot of diamonds. Check out Uranus just rolling, just sideways, just showing everybody what it's all about. Look at my poles, Uranus said. I want you to see them. That's what the sky would look like if you were on Uranus and you could see past all the thick clouds of Uranus. There's a lot of gas there. That'd be pretty tough. But if you hang out around the top of Uranus, you can see a lot of cool stuff. Look at that. Now remember, there's no air around here, so you're going to have to figure that out. But while you're figuring that out, you can look at Uranus' beautiful ring system. It's beautiful. It's doing its best. It's trying, you know. We don't like to say mean things about Uranus' rings. You know, we try to keep it clean. It's the right thing to do. Or we just send Earth right at Uranus and be like, what up? Bam. Just mess up Uranus' whole day. That's right. Earth don't play around. We stay with that. We really do. Mars. Mars would probably be a pretty cool place to smoke. I mean, it's where we came from anyway. Look at it. Mars just looked like Earth without lotion. I look like Earth without lotion. You take a look at Mars, you can see that it's got a lot of numbers associated with it, but we don't need to worry about none of that because we're from Earth. I don't care how old you are in Martian years. Now, if you take a look at Mars, you'll see there's a lot of ice on Mars. It's a pretty chill place, but the equator, oh man, it gets deep. Mars got dug out a long time ago, made Valley Marineris. That's where all the marinara sauce in the universe actually comes from. You can tell from the red coloration in the rocks. Mars got different gravity too. Different than Earth. A little bit lighter on Mars. A little bit lighter. You could probably jump pretty good. Mars has a lot of colors. Don't let the red fool you. You could find everything on Mars, and it's beautiful. And you can't live there because there's no oxygen. Again, you're not going to have a good time. And look at that. I don't even know what that is. That's Mars, though. Mars probably has some plants on it, some life. We don't really like to talk about it. We like to pretend like it's not. But, I mean, you tell me. You tell me. Look at that. That looks just like Toledo. That looks like the backside of the paper mill at Toledo. I didn't know Mars had green on it, but it does apparently if you Photoshop it that way. That's one of our nearest buddies. Is Mars. Look at that. That's that plant life again that I was talking about that the government said I wasn't supposed to show you. But I said, y'all are cool guys. I want to show you my secret. Oh, wait, they're smoking on Mars already. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is where aliens come from, and they smoke all the time on Mars. But it ain't the best place to smoke because them aliens, they don't like to share. But you can find them on the red planet where they smoke out tough. So tough that tornadoes of weed smoke just ravage the countryside. Fields of expunged bowls just litter the landscape. That's right. Those aren't rocks that you're looking at. That's burnt up Mars weed. You know the sky blue on Mars? Did you know that? You know what else blue on Mars? Your mom. Let's move on to number 5, Neptune. Now, Neptune, we got to go far to get to Neptune. We're going to go straight up through the sky's crack and get right into Neptune. See, it's got a great dark spot because dark spots matter. It's not like the great red spot. It's different. That's 30 times the distance from your house to McDonald's over and over and over again. You're not going to do it. You ain't got the gas for it. No one does. Jupiter's going ham. Look, Jupiter's far away. It takes for everything happened in the time it takes for Neptune to get around the sun. Everything. You thought you did something? You didn't do nothing. Rocketry, women, Pluto, World's Fair, transistors, TV dinners, lasers, civil rights, gas, cell phones. Some of this seems to be out of order, but I'm just going to say Neptune's seen a lot happen in 1 year. Now, if you take a look at Neptune, you'll notice it's got another storm system. We call this one Young Scooter, not to be confused with the rapper. It's known as Lil Scooter. This is also another blingy planet where diamonds just rain down through the various layers of strata on the planet. A lot of diamonds. They're not going to be cut, though. You're going to probably have to work on that. Beautiful Aurora Borealis. This time of the year, in the middle of the kitchen, Aurora Borealis. Smoking on Neptune. It ain't got no surface. It's hot there too. Watch out about that. It's cold and hot. I don't understand these planets. These planets are made out of gas. You cannot stand on them. The ocean is made out of metal, and they tend to just get blown up apparently all the time. You don't want any parts of that. They're far away. No one's going to help you. No one's going to pass you a lighter. No one's going to load another bowl. So if you go to Neptune, make sure you bring a friend, and make sure that friend has weed. Neptune's far away. Venus. You know what Venus rhymes with, don't you? Springtime. That's right. Venus is known as the morning star. It's very beautiful. Sometimes it's associated with Aphrodite. So why would you smoke it on Venus? Well, because it's a planet of beauty, symmetry. It doesn't rotate, meaning that you can't camp on Venus. It's not your turn to pass because the planet ain't moving either. It takes 240 some odd days for Venus to turn around one time. That's right, 243 days. And it also likes to get hit by meteors. So like, just think about that. That's a thing. But you know, it's so hot on Venus. It's like 1,000 degrees. It's pretty much hot everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. It's the same temperature. It's always 460 degrees Celsius, but it looks really cool. Like imagine doing dabs on Venus. Venus looks like a planet that's been completely covered in dabs. It's yellowish. It's orange. There's lightning there. Again, can't breathe on Venus. A lot of acid, a lot of death. But if you look at it, you could probably just chip off a chunk of Venus and take it home with you, because it looks like it's about 600 million years of resonation, just pools of distillate. Venus, wonder of the night sky. Saturn. Saturn used to be a good car. Then they turned into a planet. Saturn is ominous, scary as hell. You don't want to mess with Saturn. Look at it. It's dark. It's foreboding. It's brooding. It's got more rings than Shabba Ranks. That's why you want to go there. Because Saturn's got layers. You don't know nothing about no Saturn. Saturn's deep, but it ain't dense. No, Saturn's so not dense. Nobody know the word for the opposite of dense. It's so not dense, I guess buoyant, that it'd float on Earth. You could throw it in a bathtub. But everybody know about that. What you don't know about Saturn, though, is just how fucking crazy fast its wind speeds are. Over 2,000 miles an hour. That's 1,800 kilometers. Look, you think you know about wind speeds? We get 300, maybe. Venus, they don't even do circles on Venus. They do hexagons. They don't care. They don't care about anything on Venus. That's why you got to smoke there. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the type of vortices that could happen in your recycler, in your gravity, and your Grav Labs pipe, getting all types of tornado effects in your bong? That's what Saturn's going to promise you because of the resonant frequency that Saturn operates at. That's why it's got all them hexagons. But let's talk about them rings. The rings are super cool. Super cool. Imagine hanging out in the rings away from all the terrible winds. Look what the wings are made. The rings are made out of like lots of little stuff. There's ice in there. There's rocks in there. There's like big rocks and smaller ice as well. Dust maybe. You know, you could pretty much just make a couch. Just hang out in the rings. Do whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Saturn doesn't care. It's pretty chill. Literally, it's very cold in the top of Saturn. It gets warmer towards the middle, but that's pretty much all these big planets. They're all like that. The word Satan comes from Saturn. That's why he's the Lord of the Rings. Be a chill date spot. Take your boyfriend. Take your, non-gender specific friend. It doesn't really matter because Saturn's pretty much down for whatever, baby. Saturn doesn't care. Saturn's huge. Saturn knows it. Saturn's coming for you. Everything is insignificant compared to Saturn and its glory. You should probably start worshiping Saturn. I would do it. That's probably the best reason to smoke on Saturn at all because just how big and like awesome it is, you should probably just bow down to Saturn. I'm starting to do it right now. I'm sorry. Ooh, I was getting a transmission there. But yeah, Saturn actually has a huge electromagnetic field that causes amazing radio waves to bombard our planet, giving the sound of a demon screaming if you were to ever listen to Saturn. So look that up at your leisure. The sound of Saturn. Demons. That's what it sounds like. Jupiter. We don't make fun of Jupiter, though, because Jupiter's the king of the solar system, and it's huge. Now, you probably know about laminar flow, and laminar flow is pretty lame. Jupiter is a planet comprised of turbulent flow. Nothing is regular. Nothing is normal. Man, it got terpenes all over the place. This is what happens when you get all 437 compounds found in the cannabis plant and make a planet out of it. You get chaos. You get drama. You get Jupiter. The point that I'm going to make here today is Jupiter's got a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of vibes. You don't want any of them because those vibes are all bad. Jupiter is nasty, dirt brown to the core, like doo-doo balls. Jupiter just gets worse the deeper you get inside of it and more dangerous as well. Look at that. Look at that. That's just, it's like a dirty pipe in there. You don't even have to be on or near Jupiter to be inside of its influence. You could just chill out and look at Jupiter from a distance and know that you are still definitely inside of its field of influence. Jupiter is the king. Jupiter tells you what to do. Jupiter controls you. Jupiter has the left and the right, the up and the down, the foreground and the background. Jupiter is behind you. Jupiter is inside you. That's how far its electromagnetic field goes. It's bigger than the planet, which is bigger than our planet. You can't even think about that. You don't like to walk to your own job, let alone try to figure out how big Jupiter is. Don't do it. But when you get there, take your pipe out, your beautiful hand-blown glass, hopefully from Oregon, and compare it to the beauty and splendor of the turbulent flow that surrounds you. And know that Jupiter doesn't fuck around. Jupiter doesn't make little tornadoes. It does that on accident. That's Jupiter on a good day. Jupiter woke up like this. Jupiter makes multiple symmetrical storms that follow geometrical patterns independent of each other. Let me show you right about now. Look at that. See this? It's got an iron core. That's Earth, though. Earth has an iron core. It looks like I got the wrong planet in my video. God damn it. Hold on a second. We got to get to the super tornadoes of Jupiter. For now, we're just going to remark on how Jupiter is just gorgeous. Like that one pipe that you bought for $37.83, but you should have came to a perfect piece and paid $25.83. Same pattern. It's American. You love it. It's your favorite. Yeah, Jupiter kind of, the clouds move at different rates of speed. Jupiter does not follow instructions. So this is how Earth looks. This is how Jupiter looks. Look how the winds go back and forth at the same time. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But look at Saturn didn't care about that. So Saturn made a hexagon storm. Jupiter didn't care. So it made a 5-pointed pentagram because it worships Satan. Sometimes it's 7 points. Sometimes it's 8. Jupiter doesn't care. Jupiter just worships all kinds of demons. The planets are demons. You should probably pay attention to that. And it came all together with a lot of spiral energy. That's Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. You know. That's how humans work. We move forward, turning bit by bit, just like a drill, just like Jupiter. I love you. I love you at home with the air conditioning on and everything. You know I choose you. But come on, I'm not trying to embarrass you and me at the same time. Because if you don't look good, I don't look good. We don't look good, and that's no good, Jupiter. But you going to get it when we get home. I promise you that. Jupiter. Number one planet to smoke on is a little place that you might have heard of. It's called Earth. What do you really know about space? Probably not shit. Nobody does. It's so big and dark and mysterious. But you know, Earth, we're busy. We got a lot of stuff to do. But we got to sometimes take a step back and remember where we came from. That's right. We came from people who wrote books about where we came from because they're the ones who decided, because we don't know, we don't remember. But we trust these guys because they had a lot of crayons and we didn't because the Earth was flat back then. But one day it grew up and it grew out. And it realized that it just needed to go to school and do some math and realized that there's some shadows on the planet. So Earth is round now, but it used to not be, and that's okay. 9 minutes away from the sun by light speed. That's important if you're taking solar hits because you got to get that magnifying glass 9 minutes away from the speed of light from your bowl of weed that you're going to smoke with sunlight. Yeah, it's going to take 365 days to get around the sun, but that only matters for like Christmas and for like your birthday and 420 and sales. So nighttime, go out to the middle of nowhere where no one will find you, and that's where you want to smoke because that's where things look really cool, where no one can help you. There's animals on Earth, though, so watch out for those animals. They are alive, and they may probably eat you. And that's okay because unlike the other planets in the solar system, we actually do stuff. We eat and we poop. We play in the water. Have families. Dreams. Visions. Sometimes these things can be as permanent as a cloud that goes over the coast. Sometimes entire lives can sit quiet and peaceful, smoking weed, doing dabs, maybe rolling joints on the sides of cliffs, enjoying waterfalls. It's a beautiful thing, just taking the splendor of Earth. Because, you know, even the little birds that dance and bathe understand that one day this will all end. Nothing lasts forever. And none of this really matters. Because the Earth is going to blow up. It's going to blow up right underneath you. Probably today. Probably tomorrow. Probably is about to do it right now. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're anywhere on this planet and you're smoking weed, you're going to die. You see, the planet's unstable. It doesn't understand or care about itself, its neighbors, you, or your family every day from the sun. And it absorbs that. And it tries to just brush that dirt off its shoulder, but it can't do it perfectly. So it feeds back around, loops back around. That becomes social media. I mean, Aurora Borealis. And we get to look at that beautiful Aurora Borealis from the charged particles that come into our ionosphere from the sun. Solar wind can be amazing, beautiful, but oftentimes deadly. You see, the moon is also our enemy. And it'll see to it that one day that it'll pull the tides right from underneath our feet. You see, there's been water underneath the earth for millions of years, and the moon knows that, and it wants it back. It wants all its water back, and it's going to take it. So what you got to do is smoke a little bit of weed, dance with your girlfriend with her nice thick ankles and whatnot, be offbeat, and watch out for these danger zones all around the planet that I have mapped out for you. This is where it's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. Run. Earth is a beautiful place. Sea life, butterflies, birds, they know what's coming. That's why they fly away. Because the Earth, while it moves silently through space, holds no quarter for the damned. But it sells fat quarters at your local dispensary, baby. So what you got to do is smoke them while you got them, because ain't nothing going to last. You think you got a good time? You think you got a good spot? Earth might be the best spot to smoke right now, but it's going to look just as good, if not as bad, as every other planet on the list. So enjoy yourself, sweet babies. Goodbye. That's the planets, kind of. I thought you'd do a better job of it, so that's why I left it. Plus, all that's like needed to be cut down. So that's all my excuses that I got.